Okay, live right now. Just gonna wait here until someone pops up and someone says something, and then I'll get things going because I'm gonna do a where is it at? Bracket here for baseball postseason 2019. So I'm gonna be doing that. We have one person already, and I think we'll wait for Major League Hats because he'll have to get the show going here. So we will wait just a few more moments here to get fully going. Got an email. Yes, I got an email that I'm live. Fantastic. Johnny G, good day. How goes it, sir? Just gonna wait for a few more people to get on here. Then we'll eventually get into brackets for the postseason for baseball. And I have a few stats here. I'm gonna say 30 minutes. I've been doing some stat research here, and give me a second. I had to reset the fan. It is very warm out here for October 1st in Chicago. Actually, let's see how warm it is right now. Also going to be talking about some storage stuff for my hats I have over here. And that's going to be J38. Good day. How goes it? It's 86. It's 86 in MP. It feels like 93. I hope that is flipped around. And rain starting in 14 minutes, it says. So that's interesting. Because earlier when I was doing errands and I picked up my new bin for my Cubs hats, it looked like it was going to rain, but it didn't. And now it's going to rain, but it doesn't really look like it's going to, which is kind of odd. Let me notify Major League Hats that I'm live here. Because I know he's busy. He's always busy. And gives me a hard time for it. Live right now. So we will get to the World Series in a bit. They'll be towards later on. I got a few more things to talk about. And just, ramble on about. First thing to ramble on. So the first thing I'll ramble on about is that I'm wearing my presidential hat today. It is Jimmy Carter's birthday. He turned 95 today. So I'm wearing the presidential hat I have, the dad hat. It's a pretty nice dad hat. I've shown it off before, but I like showing it off. Presidential seal. I know there's a green tint from my lamp. Seal, DC on the brim, on the back, Washington, D.C., USA, a lot of D.C. stuff. So it's hot in Chicago, actually. It's 86, feels like 93. Yes, got a new thing. Getting down to 60. I think it's going to get cooler by later in the week. And so it's Jimmy Carter's birthday. And I got from 7-Eleven the Big Gulp nice Coke. So cheers to Jimmy. And personally, I'm not going to get too political here, but personally, I'm really waiting for Jimmy Carter to announce his 2020 bid to run for president because he's constitutionally eligible to run again because he only served one term and he couldn't, based off the 22nd Amendment that my sister keeps reminding me about, is you can only serve 2 terms as president, and that's legally before the 1950s. You could serve as many terms as you want to, but it was kind of a precedent set by George Washington to serve 2. There had been many presidents who served 1 term, either because they died in office, they were assassinated in office, or they lost in an election, or their party didn't renominate them. Andrew Johnson and John Tyler. But Jimmy Carter is eligible to, and then it was FDR who broke that tradition and was elected to 4 terms, but he was kind of a special reason that I can agree. Connection sucks. Yeah, I don't have good internet at my place, so I'm sure that's affecting everything else. Let's see, not yet. So Jimmy Carter, he's 95. I could see him making a run for president. He's from Atlanta, so I got my Braves hat out. I went to the library 2 summers ago. Mine is bad at work. Great. And then, yeah, it was a good museum. I forget what number it was, because I've been to a few others. I've been to the Lincoln, Ford, there's Hoover. I think it's like officially the Carter Museum was like number 8 for me that I had been to, like an official museum. There had been like plenty of other like birth homes and homes that they lived in. There are graves that I've been to, but Carter was I think the 7th or 8th museum I had been to. So just waiting until he announces his run for the Democratic ticket. Johnny G, I think we will save my pick for President 2020 until 2020 when it becomes more relevant. So we'll save that topic for another day. So I know not too many people are still on here, and I told Sergio that I'm live, and he just saw my message, so we'll see how much he responds to that, if he does or not. Okay, so I did. So I got I mentioned this on my last stream. Major League Cats, you're here. Welcome to the party. Didn't miss too much. Well, actually, you missed quite a lot. I was talking about Jimmy Carter, his birthday today. He's 95. I went to his presidential museum last year in Atlanta, so I had my Braves hat out, and I also talked about him, waiting for him to make his announcement to run for president next year. So just waiting for that. So now I'm going to move into my Cubs hat storage dilemma. So I have actually, wait. Now I have my 22 Cubs hats here on my arm, and these are all my flat brim hats. They're all fitted except for one. I have one snapback, which is in the back here, and I own hats. What's up? Are you a real professor? Self-proclaimed. Professor was a nickname given to me back in 5th grade by my teacher, 5th grade teacher, and I was always called the professor because I seemed smart, or maybe I just talked out of my butt a lot, that I looked and acted kind of smart. But no, professor one day maybe I will be, but not yet. Right now I'm just a professor of hats. So this professor is trying to figure out how to store his 22 flat brim Cub hats. I have about 8 curved brim hats that I will be probably storing in one of these hat bags, but trying to figure, because I have the hat boxes, the shoe boxes. Let me get one. All right, this is an empty one. I emptied it for other reasons. So I have one of these shoe boxes that you can get at the Container Store for about $10. Sometime there's one time it was on sale for like 7, so I got 2 of them, and they're very easily stackable. Nice front end door. So, oh, pardon me. A lot of guys have this, but these boxes can really only fit to like 8 to 11, depending on how much you want to squeeze your hats into here. 8 could fit comfortably in here, and then you can like squeeze in about 11, maybe 12 if you're really risky. But I'm not going to get two of these boxes, $20, just to just to store all these hats. I kind of wanted to put them in one central space. And I also have a video idea for down the road when it's the new season for the Cubs. So I wanted one of the under bed storage tote boxes. Everyone here, Jay. Maybe not Major League Hats, but yeah, we're all Jays here. Major League Hats does not get detention. He's good. He has an excuse card that never expires of having 12 kids, I think he said in one of his videos. And also Major League Hats also comments on pretty much every video, even if they're negative. He still comments, which I like a lot. So I don't usually give Major League Hats detention. So let me just catch up here. I own hats. Where are you from? Just wondering. What part of the country or the globe are you from? And all right, just catching up here. So yeah, I'm trying to better read comments. Major League Hats was giving me a live stream 101 tip guide a few days ago when he did some live streams, trying to tell me how to do it. I don't do this too often, so it's always good to take advice from the professionals. So my 22 Cub hats, I figured I'd need a under storage or under bed tote bag or tote box. I have, wait a second. Wait. A lot of hats, but not enough storage. So I have, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Now it's 7 because of J38. I have my Orioles hat, which is fantastic. Let me put that on actually. Hang up the presidential hat for later. But if you haven't seen my video about this, J38 just randomly sent this hat to me, and I appreciate it, and still can't thank him enough for it. And got this hat, had a fun effect in my video, and it's a perfect hat. It's a 7.5, and it's a low profile, which I like a lot. So, see, when you say Cubs still suck, that's what gets you detention. I'm kidding. Don't worry. So the way I use these, poop. The way I use these hat boxes or these shoe boxes, I have currently 3 of them. I might get another one, but right at the moment I have 3. This one is usually for my, other branded or other tagged fitted hats or flat brim hats. I only put flat brims in these containers because they fit the best. I use the hat bags I have. I have 3 of them. Actually, I have one that's kind of in use. That's for my off-season curved brim hats. So the other 2 shoe boxes I have are for my off-season non-Chicago hats and off-season Chicago hats. So one of them right now is full of hockey and basketball hats because actually tomorrow hockey starts. So I'll be trading out my hockey hats and putting in my baseball hats in that bin because I don't know how many hockey hats I have other than Blackhawk hats. So I'll be exchanging those for these baseball hats. I'm going to keep my Braves hat out for a bit because we're going to be making a run for the World Series. So until then, Braves hat will be out. And then I have a bin like this just for off-season Chicago hats. So in the summertime, I'm not going to be wearing a Blackhawks or Bears or a Bulls hat every day like my Cubs hat. So I have those in the off-season. So I was at Target and I brought all my Cubs hats in a bag to Target to kind of like have a better feel to like fit all of them in there instead of just guessing like, well, this could fit like that, but just brought them all, had fun, and kind of tested them all out. So let me catch up with comments. Windsor, California. Huh, that's mighty close to Major League hats. Windsor, California. There's yeah. Windsor, the hat capital. Cubs the thug. I own hats. Okay. Very interesting. To I own hats user, I have to give you a warning. There's a user on here, one of our buddies, Major League Hats. He has a pending patent and copyrights thing for using the Z at the end of hats or hat. So I would make sure that you talk with him about some royalties for using the likeness of hats. So just making sure you're legally safe here. So back to my hats here. So at Target I saw a few that were pretty good, and there were a few that were pretty good. One of them, like, because I found out instead of like two, wait a minute, instead of, oh, wait, this is imbalancing here. So instead of storing the hats kind of like this, it'd be like this, or instead of using the bin long ways, it'd be kind of turn around like landscape mode. That's what I mean to say, horizontally instead of vertically. So I need to put it like this. So I found a bin instead at Walmart. And actually, let me take the cover off here. And wait. And ta-da! So that's what we have going on here. So this is, I mean, this bin was $2 at Walmart. So I'm figuring, let me just adjust the camera there. So I'm figuring this is what I'm gonna go with. I might go to the Container Store to see if there's something else, because it's really pressed up against the back. So again, they're kind of falling out. So maybe something that's a bit wider than 16 7/8 inches, but maybe like something almost 18 inches wide, because there was a sterile bin at Target that looked better, but it was a little costly. It's like it was almost $13-14. It's like maybe later. So for now, this bin $2. Well, this is also a sterile bin, but the other one that I found had nice latches on it. So for now, this is what I'll be using to store all my Cubs hats. And if I get more flat brims in the off season, then I'll probably put them in the Chicago off season bin or shoe box over there. So I'm not gonna put them away just right now officially. So we'll find a nice storage area for them later on. So let's catch up with comments here. I thought the way I do have. Yes, actually, where to go? The 2019 Cubs batting practice hat. This is actually one of my newer favorite hats because it's very lightweight. It almost feels like pajamas for my hats. It just has a very nice, comfortable feel, and the texture, the material is great. So I'm trying to get a few more batting practice hats from 2019 through Fanatics, New Era, and eBay, and the MLB store website. So these are really comfortable, and I want to get the Cubs one with the regular Red Sea, and I'm trying to look at low profile hats, but not all of them are available, which is fine. So we will see what I can find. I'm looking for the 2019 batting practice hats. I'm looking for Cubs, Braves, Orioles, Oakland A's, because that was a really nice green one. There's another one I was looking at. I think maybe there's like one more, but for now that's about it. I'm trying to think. Maybe the Rockies would be another one to have. Buy one get one half. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Macy's would be good. That'd be a good place to look at. Is this a hat channel or a Cubs channel? It hats auctions. It is it's encompassing of hats. Anything that's on my hats, I talk about. So, I mean, we can, talk about Concordia and talk about the new president that we got at our university recently. Dr. Daniel Lagarde retired last school year. So, we can talk about the new president. Um, we could talk about this hat over here, the college hat from Animal House. Talk about a movie review. So we can talk about really anything that is anything on my hats. We'll talk about on this channel. That's how it works. Let's see here. So, catching up with the comments here, it seems like Major League Hats has a spamming problem here with comments here. So let's see what else. Hats undercover. Hats auctions. Okay, yeah. So yeah, personally for me, I like the J38. I like the low profiles a lot, or at least to bend my brim. It just kind of looks like a more natural hat because when I was younger, I grew up with curved brims on dad hats or adjustable hats. So a curved brim feels natural to me. Not to say that wearing a flat brim isn't bad, but it's just not what I'm used to growing up with. So I got a few low profiles. I got this one, the Orioles, Bears. There was a World Series hat in here, the gold one, and then there was another pre-designated low profile hat. So yeah. So hats auctions. I'm going to be doing a movie review in about a week or two. So we'll be doing a movie review about a movie from 1988. I want to say. Let me quickly look that up. Just I'll do it on my phone here, just in case. I'm pretty sure it was from 1988. I just finished watching it. I watched it back in March. Have you seen? No, I have not seen the Retro Crown. Actually, yes, Retro Crown. Because this is the Retro Crown hat. This Brooklyn Dodgers hat I got from the Trends Unlimited giveaway or his contest. So this is my Retro Crown hat, and I really like it. I don't wear it too much, but it's just something I wanted to have in the collection here. So let me want to look up that movie here just quickly. Yes, it was 1988. So hats auctions, if you're still here, or if you've changed into a different hat persona, we'll be doing a movie review in next week or two, and that'll be my last video before my hiatus. So we'll be doing that soon, and it'll be a baseball movie. You'll like it. It kind of ties into the year in a way. Let's see here. Who's favorite wrestler? I do not watch wrestling like others do. Others have a higher appreciation for wrestling, either WWE or professional wrestling, like the athletic kind, like they would at the Olympics or high school, college level. Not someone who watches that kind of athletic competition, but if I would have to say, he did announce his return a few days ago, and I made the joke in my head of they said, "Oh, The Rock's coming back," and like it doesn't matter if The Rock's coming back or not, because there was a guy at work. His name was John. He was in the vitamin section, and he was talking to me one day, and it was at Fresh Time, and we're talking, and he's asking me like what I think, and I'm talking, like it doesn't matter what you think, and he told me about the whole reference of The Rock and his like it doesn't matter skit. So I guess you could say The Rock, but I'm not really huge into wrestling. But I guess I would say The Rock because of that whole one-liner. Wrestling podcast. This is Brooklyn Dodgers, and actually I will be using this in the movie review video coming up. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay. Where is it? Okay. So I'm going to start to get into my so it's a soccer hat. I have 2 soccer hats. Let's see, Baltimore, Biloxi Shuckers. I think Shuckers is a minor league team. Soccer hats, I have Chicago Fire and I have USA soccer hat. So let me change hats here, get a sip here, and then let's get into some brackets. Let's talk about some brackets here. So, oh yes, actually I put it away, but I will get it out. My other 2 boxes. There's not enough room on my bed here. Oh no, my pen fell. How horrible. So right now I got my Blackhawk hats here. This is my Chicago off-season bin. So I have all my Blackhawks hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 fitted. This feels like too low, actually, to be honest. Actually, nah. I've been meaning to get the all red one, but just didn't nab it yet. Bulls hat, and then Chicago Sky. Right now, Chicago Sky lost to the Las Vegas Aces in the second elimination round, or the second round, which is a single elimination. They lost at a buzzer beater to Las Vegas Aces in Vegas. And that weekend, Northwestern was already playing. Wait, I have one. Northwestern was already playing UNLV, and I wanted them to beat UNLV about, I think, at least by 50 points or 60. And I wanted the Sky to do the same. I wanted the Sky to beat Vegas Aces by 50 some points at least. But that didn't happen, and Aces went on to lose to the Mystic in the semifinal game to the Washington Mystics. And beginning of the season, I had the Mystics playing, or I think I had the Mystics playing the Suns in Phoenix Mercury in the finals, and Mystic winning because Brianna Stewart was injured in the offseason. She was in, I think, Russia, I want to say, but she was in Europe playing interleague basketball, tore her ACL, unfortunately, and she was out for the season. So it was Brianna Stewart, who was the MVP of last year for the WNBA league. That made way for Elena Deladon and the Mystics to pave the way to a championship run. So Mystic are up 1-0 in the series against the Connecticut Suns, and Mystic are going to win. because I have Elena Delle Donne. Elena Delle Donne is like, maybe I'm exaggerating, but she's like the top player in the whole league, not just because she has the MVP right now, but she's like a LeBron James, you could almost say. She was on the Sky. She was originally drafted by the Sky and then was traded after 2016 or 17 because she originally grew up in Delaware. She played for the University of Delaware Blue Hens, and they never won a championship because they couldn't beat UConn Husky women's team. But she wanted to move closer to her sister, who has some medical needs. So Elena Delle Donne was traded. Rarely before were players traded around in the WNBA. It's becoming a little bit more common right now in a way, but back then it wasn't as common. So she got traded to the Mystics to be closer to her sister, and she's still finding a lot of success, which is great. So that is my WNBA hat, and the Mystics are going to win, and I'm going to try to get a championship hat. But I haven't gotten one for the Seattle Storm from last year, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't caught up with comments because I'm trying to ignore Sergio here, trying to do some scamming here. Let's see. No WNBA PC. Let's see here. Anything else? It's New Era? What? Reds fan in Florida, what's up? Finally, we got another cool man in the house here. How's it going? We've been going over hats. I talked about originally starting off with the show. Had my presidential hat, Jimmy Carter's birthday, 95 today. That I talked about my Cubs hats, storing them in totes, and talking about now I was in the WNBA conversation. And actually, yeah, it kind of does in a way. I kind of like their older logo. Because this was the only like snapback that they had, and the only actually no, they had a 920 for New Era with the old logo, but I kind of wanted a snapback. Chicago Sky. Because this one's a bit more updated. The other one I like better. It felt a little bit more 3D. Now this is what it looked like. I like that one better. It incorporated the Sears Tower. Sears Tower. It's the snap yellow in the back there. 950. That's the Sears Tower that they're using in the logo, and the other buildings that kind of make up the skyline. But I kind of like this logo better. So one of these days, I'll get one of these hats. So probably in a 920 dad hat form. So that is that. So we'll put that away behind the other hats, behind the Bulls hat, and then I don't think the Blackhawks start until Friday. I think Friday is their season opener, but they're playing the Philadelphia Flyers. They're not in Chicago. They're not in Philly. They're in Prague. They're in Prague, Czech. So that's gonna be a cool game to see, and I'm pretty sure I actually don't know what time it is because it's the time difference. So we'll see how it goes. But that'll be really cool. Maybe I'll talk about in this live stream. I meant to do like a full video about it, NHL season preview review, but maybe I'll do it after my bracket here. So, shall we get into the brackets here? Anyone want to see the brackets that I'm thinking about? I've kind of thought about it in my head, but I haven't put down pen to paper here of what I want to do. So let's get a new pen because the other one fell on the floor. And before we get going with the brackets, let me read some comments here. Just got home. F Ohio State. Right on. It's a yellow underbrim. Yes, it's the Sky hat. A lot of good colors to it, and the button was yellow as well. The reds are very red, just like Bob the Tomato. Bob is very, very red. Houston, Texas, 99. How's it going? Glad you could join us. No Pirates. Wait, what are you talking about? No Pirates. What do you mean no Pirates? J38. Okay, so I like the Pirates, but the Rangers are my favorite team. I feel like this like hat. I don't know if it's Sergio or not. Um, I don't know if it's Sergio who's being I own hats or not, or whoever it is, but like this kind of excessive trolling is kind of like dad jokes where pretty much only you think it's funny for long term, and other people think that it's funny either like very short term or like not even funny at all. So, um, yeah, your joke here isn't really appealing to anyone here. It's not amusing most of us. At least me, it's not amusing me. Because trust me, I'm very good with dad jokes, and I know how that feels. Where you think you make a really good joke, but then other people are like, ugh, why? Or they give like a ha ha ha, wow, that was a good joke, and being sarcastic about it, or like, no, Jeff, just don't even. Yeah, so like a good dad joke would be, you ever hear the joke about Orion's belt, the constellation in the sky? It's a big waste of space. But get it? Yeah. No, nah, it's not a good joke. I give it 3 stars, I'd say. So that's like a good dad joke, I think, but others wouldn't think it is. So like you're trolling here with like all like the hats with the Z and then the Ranger stuff now, and um I like pairs. Yeah, so whoever like do this trolling, I mean, I guess you can do it on my channel, but I'm just letting you guys know it's not for my. I'm not amused with it at all. Like the first 2 minutes of it, it was amusing, and now it's just you're still going at it. Really? So let's get into the brackets here. So you might see a bit of a bias here with my hat, but because the Braves are in the postseason now, they are the number 2 seed, and they won the NL East 2nd year in a row. And love dad jokes. Maybe I'll do a live stream some other time about dad jokes, and get like 50 people to sub away, be like, oh my god, this guy is doing dad jokes. Oh crap! I know they're sometimes I joke that they're bad. Okay, Sergio. So yes, you get the award for trolling here. So let me find it, and I don't know where to go. Uh, Wait, I had this ready to go. So Major League Hats, uh, for your trolling, I want to present you with this award, and it's very prestigious. I know it's bad handwriting, but it says no one cares. So everyone give Sergio a round of applause. So fantastic job, and let's move on to adult things here. So predicting. So yes, I do have a little bit of a bias, you could say. So the Cubs aren't in contention for the World Series. My secondary team is Atlanta, and that's because my dad lived in Atlanta for a while. I'm pretty sure he has a Braves jersey around that he's been meaning to hand down to me, but I've never seen it. So I think he gave it away. Um, but there have been pictures of me in like Braves gear. He had like one of those like chop on tomahawks. Braves also won the World Series in '95, and with Greg Maddux, great Cubs pitcher too. And so that's kind of the reason why I'm a Braves fan. And also, I don't have any of the other hats for the other teams here. So tonight, let's get going here with the "You Want a Dunce" hat. J38, fantastic, fantastic. So tonight with the next 2 nights with the wildcard games, we have tonight being Milwaukee at Washington, and then tomorrow Tampa Bay at Oakland. Tonight, I'm really kind of puzzled here. I'm conflicted. Excuse me. I'm back. What happened? Professor, no, J38. No, I'm not a bandwagon fan with Atlanta. No, we don't do that. So with tonight's game for the Washington Milwaukee, there are a few factors I've kind of considered here. One, that in the history of the single wildcard game since 2012, only I think 3 times. Wait, let me look it up here. Just give me a second. It's only been 2 times. It's only been 2 times that the home team has won the wild card game in the NL. AL is a little bit different, but the history of the away team winning the wild card game in the NL, like last year, Cubs hosted, but the Rockies won, and really, the Cubs should have won. So that's the first factor of home field advantage not meaning anything. Just like in 2015 when the Cubs came in and beat on the Pittsburgh Pirates with Jake Arrieta to go on to the NLCS. Also, 2014 Major League Hats' San Francisco Giants. I don't know who they played, but they give me a second here. They were at the Pirates, and that was the second year that the Pirates would host a wild card game, and San Francisco Giants won that game to then go on to win the whole World Series. So there's that home field factor. Second factor is pitchers of Max Scherzer being on the mound, and my brother even messaged me. He's like, because he's a Brewer fan. He's like, I'm afraid to face Scherzer. I'm like, I would be too. And also the other factor would be Brewers don't have Yelich, and Lorenzo Cain, last I heard this morning, is questionable. I don't think he might not even be on the roster for tonight. But then the other factor is Washington is really bad in the playoffs. So there's like that factor. So there's like a bunch of, and it's the postseason. Anything can happen in the postseason. The regular season doesn't matter right now, pretty much. So I'm still conflicted about it. But I'm going to go with Washington because they also have an 8-game winning streak going into from the end of the regular season. Heading to the cafeteria. Okay. So then let's go with the second wild card game. Is the Oakland A's and Tampa Bay Rays. And let me just look at that history of the wild card game, because that one seems to be more of the home team winning. Only 3 times has the visiting team won at the AL wildcard game. Yes, my dad and brother are really hyped for the Brewers tonight, as well as my sister. So with Oakland and Tampa Bay, I'm gonna go with Oakland. I I just think that they have a better factor going into it. And Tampa Bay has Charlie Morton on. They don't have Blake Snell, so down to two watchers here, so that's great. So hopefully anyone watching the replay here will give their predictions here. So I know I'm going pretty long here, but it's a whatever kind of video, just talking to myself here, pretty much. So then the next round, let's go with the 2 and 3 seed games. So let me also talk a little bit about my stats here. So if Major League Hats is still watching, what's your next minor league hat? Next minor league hat, Peoria Chiefs, Toledo Mud Hens. There's another one I'm thinking of. Maybe or the Frisco Rough Riders. So one of those 3. So I know Major League Hats is scared of stats here, and being a StatCast kind of person, not really thinking about the game overall. You're too involved in the numbers, but I wanted to do some numbers here over the last 11 years of the World Series and the playoffs. So looking at the numbers here, last time there was a 1 versus 1 seed ever since I think 1998. That's when they started to do like the seeding. So ever since then, or at least since 98, there's only been one time, actually no, been 2 times since 98 that a number 1 seed has played a number 1 seed. So very unlikely we will see a Astros Dodgers matchup. Could we see it? It could be possible, but the numbers would suggest no. It's been only 6 years, so not enough time in between. But again, playoffs, anything could happen. So with seed number 1 appearances, number 1 seed appearances for the AL and NL. Columbia Fireflies, okay. For the AL, the times a number 1 seed has been the World Series is 07, 09, 13, 14, and last year in 18. And then for the NL, only 13, 16, and 17. The time that an AL 1 seed has gone to the World Series, 4 out of 5 times they've won. 1 out of 3 times an NL top seed has gone to the World Series. Only 1 time they've won, and that was the 2016 Cubs. So, looking at the numbers here, the number 1 seeds. So I have a kind of list here of the number 1 seeds, how they ended up, the AL and the NL, how they ended up, and I actually should have done the mathematics about it before. Whereas I think most times it's the actually the divisional series that a number 1 seed will go out in. So I know Major League Hats had made a bold prediction with Houston getting knocked out by Oakland, but I don't know if I'm really safe with that kind of prediction. So with that one, I'm going to start with that one. I'm going to take Houston. Then I'm going to look at the Yankees and Minnesota. And this one, MLB hats. The next MLB hat I would get would probably be an all navy Braves hat. So then the next one, I'm going to give it to the Yankees against the Minnesota Twins. Atlanta, St. Louis. I'm going to go with Atlanta because they have better bats. Also, I just hate the Cardinals. Pirates Pillbox. That's always an interesting one. So since Major League has had his major upset, I'm going to go with Washington over the Dodgers. I mean, you can't pull a Buffalo Bills, making it, so many times in a row to the championship game or series and not winning it. You can't, go and lose a third World Series if you can't be in it. So, so in the CS series, Houston and New York, Washington and Atlanta. Then we're going to have Atlanta and New York go at it for. That sounds crazy. Just because I kind of trust the bats a little bit more with the Yankees, and maybe I'm not too sold on that pick. Because I could see Houston really going far. Okay, actually, screw it. I'm gonna go with Houston and Atlanta for the final for the World Series. I'm gonna go with Houston, primarily because I picked them at the beginning of the season. So and that's gonna go in a gentleman's sweep in 5 games. So I got Houston over the Braves in 5. So that's what I got for the World Series. Is anybody Who else? Who else does people have? So there are three people in here. So I have Houston in a gentleman's sweep to Atlanta. What everybody else have? Be interesting to hear what other people have going on for their picks for World Series. Nope. 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 Okay. So be interesting to hear from other insightful baseball fans here. What else do you guys have? Or if you want me to talk a little bit about hockey, because I got my hockey hats here, I can talk a little bit about hockey. I think that'd be fun. I know Major League Hats might have left. I haven't heard from him or anyone in a little bit here, which is okay. It never rained. It looks like it's gonna rain, but it hadn't rained yet. That's what the app said. It felt really humid out. So just gonna keep talking to myself here until someone else makes a comment. So your call to hear me just ramble on about nothingness until someone comments. Drink the Coke there. I went to the Coke Museum in Atlanta about 9 years ago when went with a marching band down to Atlanta for a Bands of America trip. We were watching, or we performed in the old Georgia Dome. Went to the Coke Museum for one of our tourist spots. This whole room full of dispensaries of sodas from America of Coke and around the world. They could just taste us. And there's this drink from, I want to say Ecuador, but it was from South America, called the Beverly. It was like cough syrup. It was awful. And like, being in high school, all the guys was like, oh, try this out. And you try, like, oh, this is probably good. And then you drink it and like, yeah, it's gross. And everyone's like, ha ha ha, we tricked you. Let's see. Um, yeah, I mean, there's certain people like that can and can't pull off a pillbox. Um, it's just a certain kind of style that Pirates are really Pirates and maybe the Reds are best at. So I'm gonna go with some of my hockey hats here just to show off a bit what I have going on. And excuse me, I don't need you. Those are my basketball hats. So I have how many hockey hats do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then I have one more over here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, 13. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I got 19 hockey hats in total. So plenty of Blackhawks hats and other hats here. So just talking a little bit about hockey here with the Blackhawks. They barely missed the playoffs last year. It was kind of a bit of a heartbreaker where it's like, are they going to make it? They're on a good run. They got like a 3-game winning streak or a point streak going on, 5-game point streak going. But that's against bad teams. And then when they're playing good teams, it's like, nope, not happening. So yeah. So hopefully, kind of a revamped team. We'll have Dylan Strome for the whole year instead of just half a year. He was a really good pickup with because we traded Nick Schmaltz to Arizona to pick him up. Dylan Strome was the third pick, I think, in the 2015 or 16 draft, and yeah, he really likes it in Chicago. DeBrincat's gonna have a good season. Kane is gonna have another good season. Taves could have a bounce back season. But Lightning can be good. They got Kucherov. They got the Venza winning. Venza is the goalie award. They have the Venza winning goalie coming up again. So they could have another good season, but yeah, we'll see how it goes because they're kind of like the Dodgers of the NHL, where like they're really, really, really good in the regular season, and then they just poop out in the postseason. Yeah, it was really awkward for them to last year to tie an all-time record of points to tie for a season, and then to get swept in the first round by Columbus Blue Jackets, who only got in. I remember I was at a Milwaukee Admirals American Hockey League minor league hockey game and watched Panarin from the Blue Jackets barely get the Blue Jackets in because of a penalty shootout. Uh, then yep, they got swept by Columbus, and that was Columbus's first ever postseason series win. So it was pretty historic, kind of cool, kind of awkward in many ways. So Blackhawks will make it back into the playoffs. Um, it's going to be really, really competitive. Um, Central. Columbus was hot. Yep, and then the Bruins just doused them out. So the Central Division for hockey is going to be really competitive. You have uh, the Avalanche, who have Nathan MacKinnon, who was my first pick in the hockey draft for Major League Hats' League, and I still stand by that pick. Nathan MacKinnon, who is number 2 ranked overall. So they're going to have him. They're going to have a bunch of other really good returning players. Everyone's posing or saying that MacKinnon could have a Hart-worthy season. So they're going to have him. The Avalanche could have a good season. The Stars had a really good season. They took St. Louis to 7 games last year in the postseason. I'm just in one fantasy league. That's enough for hockey. Then what else was there? Predators are always a consistent postseason team, and the Blues are coming off of their Stanley Cup run. So it's gonna be real. I mean, there's also the Jets, and they're really good too. So it's going to be really, really competitive in the Central. So I'm thinking it's gonna be the Jets, Blackhawks in no particular order, Jets, Hawks, Avalanche, and then Stars to make it into the postseason. Then I have my other non-Chicago hats. I have my Vegas hat, and I'm still the 950 snapback, and I'm still looking to get a fitted version of the Vegas Golden Knights hat. They're playing the Sharks first game of the season tomorrow night, or maybe Wednesday night. Tomorrow is Wednesday night. Interesting. I can't think right now. So these two, they're at Vegas, and we'll get to the Bears hat later on. And yeah, Vegas is gonna really want to pound on the Sharks after last year, the postseason, how it ended, and a lot of controversy. And Major League Hats gave me a lot of crap for that, kind of. I mean, my problem is, I mean, Major League Hats, was more invested into hockey last year, which is fine, totally fine. But the thing is, when he came through as a hockey fan, every time that I came about, talking about something with hockey, he would always, say that I'm wrong. He would say that the Blackhawks suck, or like he would just, shove it down your throat that I'm wrong. Like, dude, you're kind of relatively new to hockey. You might have watched it before, but you're not as invested into it as I have been for the last 10 plus years. So it's really rude to like shove it down a long-standing fan's throat that I'm wrong. So that's why I have a huge problem with Major League Cats being a bandwagon fan. I mean, his Sharks, great team last year, but him just shoving down my throat that I was wrong, that this was this is how it should have been. the Sharks were allowed to get away with that batted in goal pass in Game 3, I think, of the Western Conference Finals last year against St. Louis. He was all pissed about Joe Thornton getting suspended for one game on a hit that was deemed illegal by the safety board from NHL. No, he did see my hockey card. He was actually kind of impressed with it. He's like, "How'd you do it?" And I'm like, "Photoshop, man. Photoshop, boy. Be jealous." So with Major League Hats being a shoving it down your throat, I'm always right, you're always wrong, kind of hockey fan or sports fan. That's what's kind of like a little disheartening with the friendliness of competition. My other hats are a Buffalo Bills Sabres snapback, 950. Carolina Hurricanes fitted. Atlanta Flames and New York Rangers. These were like original or like all wool fitted 950s, and they kind of fit tight, but they're cool to have. I got these for pretty cheap. Actually, this one was like $25. Got it from Trends Unlimited. This one was like under $10 on eBay. So I still need to get a better Sabres hat. I also want to get a Blue Jackets hat and a New Jersey Devils hat and a 5950 version of the Vegas Knights. Carolina hat, pretty cool. Now, Major League Hat called me a bandwagon fan because of liking and getting the Hurricanes hat, but it's just a great hockey story. They were called a bunch of jerks by Don Cherry, and of course, Major League Hats wouldn't know who Don Cherry is. I get it; he's still new to hockey. And I mean, you don't need to know everyone in hockey, but I mean, if you know some of the prominent coaches and TV analysts like Doc or Eddie O or Pierre McGuire, then you kind of get a better perception on you. Hurricane were called a bunch of jerks last year because they were doing their storm surge. They were celebrating a home win once the away team had left the ice. They celebrated on the ice. They did like bowling. They did like limbo stuff. They just had a lot of fun. They did a basketball thing too, and I'm like, this is like a great story. And they also hadn't made the playoffs in like 9 years, so I was like, it was a great underdog story. So that's why I got the hat. And they also have a few. They have Teuvo Teravainen and at least Scott Darling. Oh, and Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who are all former Chicago Blackhawk players. So we have 3 people watching. Reds fan Florida is still going on, commenting. Anyone else want to comment about hockey? I'm going to be wrapping up in a few moments here. So I want to get another Vegas hat, or I get a few more Vegas hats in this hockey season. Devils hat, Sabres hat, maybe Blue Jackets hat. Excuse me. I'd be kind of interested. Yeah, I also kind of want to find a 5950 of the Devils hat, but I guess whatever they have on Fanatics, I'll pick up, just to make it work. Because I have a whole running list of hats in my Fanatics card because I still have a $40 gift card to use up for Fanatics. So I just have like a bunch of hats in my cart. I have like 20 some hats, I think. No, like 14 hats in my cart. Just waiting to be selected which ones I want to buy and use my $40 for. Kind of take them off, and I have a Vegas hat ready to buy. Maybe look at some New Jersey hats. The Lightning has some pretty good logos for their hats, so I'm not in a rush to get them. I might Panthers hat. I'm on the fence about. They're going to be okay this upcoming season. Oh, and Islanders hat would be cool to have too. Oh, and a Toronto Maple Leafs. That's another hat I would want to get. Because what else is there? Maybe an Oilers hat, but maybe that's stretching it. So I'm going to make a hockey prediction here. I'm going to have Vegas, Golden Knights, to represent the Western Conference. And then I'm kind of tossed between Lightning and Toronto to play for the East. So yeah, nice. So I for sure with Vegas to go to Stanley Cup Finals, and I'm kind of on the fence between Toronto or Tampa Bay playing them. So if anything, I'm gonna go with Tampa, just because I feel like they're better put together. They've had some problems, with the postseason, but it'll be Vegas and Tampa in the finals. That's my official prediction, and so yeah, so that's that. Um, yeah, thanks for everyone to coming out to this. I know that we had our hijinksing at the beginning of the video with Sergio trolling us and having some fun. I hope that he enjoyed it. I hope that he had fun with it. Old when you say Phoenix Coyotes, do you mean the desert one where it had like the stick and it's like kind of that Navajo style pattern, or which Phoenix logo are you talking about? Or I guess Arizona Phoenix Coyotes or whatever they are. Nice. So yes, I hope Major League Hats enjoyed his hijinks at the beginning of the video. I'm sure a few people found it entertaining. After a while, I did not, but that's okay. We're just having fun here, and yeah. Again, I have Houston in a gentleman's sweep over Atlanta for the World Series, and I officially predicted Vegas to play Tampa in the Stanley Cup Finals in June. And actually, because tomorrow's the season, I'm going to be putting these up in my shelf in the closet. I'm not going to try to do it now to move the camera around because I'm only connected by the power cord. But in my closet, a few shelves, and on my first shelf that I can reach, I would have all my Cubs hats there, because it was a season, but now that's not Cub season anymore. I'm gonna put up all my hockey hats up there, and then add a few of my NBA hats when it comes time, and then this will go up on the hat wall. I'll do a hat wall reorganizing video sometime soonish, and that is that. Quebec Nordiques. That is a great logo. That is a great team. I also want a Hartford Whalers hat. That'd be a cool one to have. And a 5950. That'd be really cool. Hartford Whalers, the old Carolina Hurricanes team or location. So yeah, that's that. So thanks for everyone for coming out, and have fun. For watching the replay, comment down below anything. That always helps. And if you're new, subscribe. I'm still at KC Scouts. I would probably want a Scouts would be okay. I also want a Chiefs hat. Chief from a Slapshot. That'd be a cool hockey hat to have. The Chiefs. Paul Newman putting on the foil. The Hanson brothers. So yeah. So thanks for everyone for watching. Have a good day, everyone, and hats off to you. Bye.